It's the light in their eyes, the warmth of their touch, heat, passion, smoldering embers, igniting, building, kindling, stoking flame, sintering souls, fire burning within, exploding, a sudden outburst of something such as noise, light, or violent emotion, especially anger, a violent expansion in which energy is transmitted outward as a shockwave.
Yeah.
Explosive, unyielding reactions, creating and destroying us all. So I'm Dan.
And I'm Nick, folks.
We're old friends dissecting one topic at a time. People, technology, media, we've got it all covered.
Each discussion here is a deep dive into our unique perspective. The taboo, forbidden subjects, they're all on the chopping block, baby. We don't pander to popular opinion. We might even get a little bit dirty.
Warning. This podcast may contain mature language and sexual content. Sexual content for infotainment purposes only.
So join us. Have a good time.
Open up your ear holes, because we're going to fondle your follicles.
That note rings out.
Good finish note. Good start note. Good finish and start note.
It's a gorgeous note.
Gorgeous.
So?
Yes. I'm Dan.
Mm-hmm.
And you are?
I'm Nick, folks. Tonight we're going to talk about explosions.
Yeah.
Is that what they call it nowadays?
Big ol' explosion? Big ol' explosion?
A what?
A big ol' explosion? Huge explosion.
No. I think you just literally created something that sounded like something between a child and like something
British
or something.
Yeah,
British. Yeah. I think that's what it was.
I think it was
Charlie
actually.
bit me. Big old explosion. Yeah, it was. I think you did. I discovered what it was.
Charlie bit me.
Pretty quick. Yeah, that's
He
what you
bit
did.
me.
The big old explosion.
Jackie did it. So, where do you want to begin, Nick?
You already did the definition. My favorite thing to do.
I didn't cover the very first, actually. I covered the second.
What, a violent and destructive shattering or blowing apart of something as is caused by a bomb.
Yeah, explosions.
I like that you said bomb. That's kind of weird.
Bomb, yeah. Isn't it strange?
It's man-made. That was weird. I didn't expect that. I bet you didn't get etymology, though.
The origin of explosion?
Yeah. So it's from ancient Latin term, explodere, to hiss a bad actor off the stage. Moose.
Because it's this.
Because it's
I'm gonna skip it.
Yeah. No. We can beat around.
All right.
So, what's the first explosion? Is there one? I don't
do Big Bang. Natural explosion of the universe, the beginning, the creation of. So, was it always when one door closes, a window opens, or something? When something ends, a new beginning begins.
Yeah, that is what it is. But I don't know the expression now because I'm thinking of when one door closes, another door opens.
Yeah.
Is that from air pressure? Oh, okay.
Is that from air
I have no
pressure?
idea. I don't know. Is it?
When the door opens, your parachute closes or something. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, that one was 14 point something billion years ago. 14.2.
Who knows? No one really knows. Actually, they do.
No one knows.
Graphing it in a paper-bound book. I'm sure people can scroll that out and figure it out. That the origin of the universe was one central point.
5,000 years by the Bible.
By the
anyway,
bubble? Okay, yeah.
By the bubble. But moving on.
Using my accent against me.
By the bubble.
Bible. So, and then the all per... What are you looking at? You're reading definitions.
My phone buzzed. No, my phone buzzed like 8 times. So this is just my phone. Our number one rule, pay attention to the other person. Don't be on your phone during a podcast.
Yeah, I was going to power through it, but I was like, no, not today, Nick. Not putting up with your shit.
Pretty explosive here.
Yeah. The continuous explosion, the one that sustains our planet and gives us life, everything life.
No, I never thought of it as a continuous explosion.
Yeah.
Like it's still going.
Yeah.
I think it's over.
The sun is continually burning, yearning.
It is.
Desirous.
But the Big Bang's not. Is the Big Bang considered continually exploding?
No, I think it's set in motion everything so that it's now fizzled out. And but would we know if there was a central explosion in the middle? radiating
we're
something else?
I think we would.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll get to us eventually or something.
Maybe.
Only at the speed of light, though.
So let's skip to natural. So that's natural solar system. Natural Earth, like lightning, is impressive. Light show. So the key thing that's tying all this together is you usually see something, you usually hear something and feel it, and then the effect of it is widespread.
Okay, I like that. It's heat, light, and pressure.
Yeah, heat, light, and pressure. I'll give that. I like our definition better more than what is this? Merriam-Webster. Yeah. I like fuck those guys.
But yeah, that's kind of what it is, and that's ironically. Did you know that's how they measure the strength?
In joules.
They do, but it's a combination of what I just said, heat and how much
pressure
it can move. Oh, how much it moves surrounding material, be that the atmosphere, whatever. Yeah. So did you know it's actually molar based? Not to get real nerdy.
Molar based is like the the ratios
moles,
of things.
Yep, correct. So if it moves if an explosion moved a ton of argon versus a shit ton of oxygen, like there's a difference because it takes more energy to move that argon than it would to move oxygen. So you have to take into calculation what it moved. If you were measuring it in reverse, I mean, if you know how much power it has.
You sound like me right now. Holy shit!
I do. I was doing it a little too complex there. But if you were on an unknown planet and you didn't know what the atmosphere was, and like you had to figure out what everything was, then you could figure out.
You would bomb the shit out of that planet.
Yes, you would.
We're just figuring things out here.
We're just trying to do some math. Yeah. Everybody stay in your homes. We're going to carpet bomb the entire block.
So it's how much it moves an object. But you said you defined it as like a ton of something, but a ton is always the same, right? So
no, not a ton, a mole.
A mole.
Which essentially is the same. That's how many atoms make up a gram or something. Is that what a mole is?
Holy fuck. What is a mole?
Is it 10 times 1.8 to the 1.8 times 10 to the 26th? I don't remember now. That's so funny. I used to have it memorized. 2.6, 1.8.
How to calculate?
18th. It doesn't just tell you the mole. Did it say what's a mole?
Is it MOLE?
No, it's MOL, I think.
Oh, that's mole.
That's your bad.
Yeah.
You're probably looking up moles. Dan's like, no, they're furry, they're cute.
The symbol is MOL, but it's actually MOLE.
Is it spelled? Oh, sorry.
It's exactly 10 to the 80th hydrogen. Oh, wait, never mind. That's the wrong thing. That's the shittiest. The wrong thing. Exactly 6.22 something times 10 to the 23rd particles. Atoms, molecules, ions, or electrons.
Cool.
I forget why that was important. It's the number of something.
Well, it is because
Avogadro's number.
Avogadro's law.
He's got laws and numbers.
He's got a number?
He can have both.
Does he have
both? Be both.
Now I want to argue you. This is so funny. It's becoming a scientific podcast, and we're out of our league at this point. Anyway, no, it was just a simple way that oxygen weighs different than like hydrogen, which weighs different than like carbon. So to have the same amount of all of those molecules, you have to have a mole of each, because that's an equal number of atoms of it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's why it's important. Just when you compare apples to apples type deal.
Yeah.
So
okay.
You're right. They measure it in joules.
Things go boom.
You know TNT?
Well, don't go that far. We gotta.
Work our way up. You want to do man-made? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's a unit of measurement, but kind of.
We're on lightning. So lightning, and then
lightning.
Meteors, the things that surprise us, extinct life, and destroy the dinosaurs. Apparently, that by one theory, by the dinosaur bitch. She said meteors.
I'll have to tune in episode 87 or so.
Yeah.
Oh, that was when we did the podcast.
Yeah, it was.
Antimatters. What's her name? You can say
Antimatters.
Yeah, Antimatters. That was good.
So she presumed.
Dinosaur bitch.
Yeah. Well, the dinosaur bitch says that. I can't believe it. I want to have him tell my son that, so he tells it in science class. Anyway,
the
meteors.
dinosaur bitch.
Yeah. Meteor destroyed the dinosaurs. That's explosive. Ripples through time. Space, energy, power. Volcanoes have the same sort of thing. It's a buildup of pressure.
You sound like him from Jurassic Park.
Oh, Malcolm?
Jeff Goldblum. Yeah. Professor Malcolm. You're like, dinosaur destroys man. Man eats dinosaur. Woman inherits the earth. Yeah. Good bit, folks, from the 90s. But keep going.
Eruptions, and then lava. Lava is one of the
Eruptions are
coolest.
badass.
Yeah.
I actually like eruptions.
Pyroclastic flows.
Oh, I love some pyroclastic flow, dude. I took rocks for jocks in college.
I certainly
GO
did.
105, baby. Did you?
I feel like I did since you did. You told me this before.
I didn't know if you did. I remember that I did.
I remember that you did too, yeah.
Oh, well, I was wondering if you did, is what I was saying.
I mean, I feel like I did. Bro science to the max.
Bro science!
So, like Pompeii, we talked about Pompeii. Like the pyroclastic flow was so fast.
And the dude who was caught whacking it, and the other one that had all the dicks on her bedpost. I know.
Yeah. If you had moments to live, the best feeling you could possibly generate yourself would probably involve a cucumber for you.
Yep, eating a cucumber. I love that cool, refreshing flavor. You mean just cutting it with a knife, taking a piece of cucumber and eating it as pyroclastic flow comes down the mountain towards me? People are like, what's he doing with that cucumber? And be like crying while eating.
It's so refreshing. And then
it's so delicious.
Meanwhile, the guys are jacking off all around you.
All around me. And I'm still eating my cucumber. It's fresh. A little bit of zest.
Woo!
Nice and hydrated.
Yeah.
After that one.
Lava? Have you ever seen lava in person?
I've never seen lava. I'm really jealous.
One of those cool things. Hawaii. Is that there's lava flow that was moving towards that town very slowly. It's one of those things that it's like inevitable, but takes months. But people are like, it'll come.
I'll wait.
But there's nothing that, I mean, they can kind of redirect it based on that movie called Volcano, starring
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones?
I think that was Volcano. I think the one you're thinking of is, there's two that came out at the same time, Volcano and
Dante's Peak.
Dante's Peak, that's what it was called. And the mother died in the acidic water. I forgot about that. And it was Pierce Brosnan. Yeah.
Lake Nyos. Talk about Lake Nyos. We'll go back to lava.
That's not an explosion.
That's not.
I don't think so. That's noxious fumes.
No. But it was
like nitrous oxide, isn't it?
It was caused by something. Well,
volcanic underneath the water, the lake or something.
Oh, what's the name of it? Oh, fuck.
I thought it was nitrous oxide that was from some gases under this lake. And
I thought it was called a limnic explosion, but I don't see that word anywhere.
Yeah, that sounds weird. That sounds fake. Just type in limnic explosion. I don't even know.
Limnic eruption. A limnic eruption, also termed a lake turnover, is a rare type of natural disaster in which dissolved carbon dioxide suddenly erupts from deep lake waters, forming a gas cloud capable of suffocating wildlife, livestock, and humans.
Huh.
May also cause tsunamis. There might be. Probably on your balls.
Yeah. Feels like it.
Should spray it off of your balls.
Spray it off my balls.
So, yeah, that's terrifying. I remember descriptions of that was that there's a flow of carbon dioxide, which they couldn't see it. They just saw like the life forms on the ground, like frogs. All of a sudden the frogs like just kind of like keeled over. And they're like, huh? And then people who were in the lower elevations got hit with it fast. And then people would try to help those people. And they'd be caught in a stream of
And what are you not allowed to do it at your work when they're working with certain chemicals? Don't bend over to help them. Lift with your legs. I was going with, if they pass out, you look down at them and say, hey, you okay? Just kind of look down at them. You're like, I got to stay up here. We'll get you
just help. In case this is a limnic eruption. Limnic eruption, everybody.
Limnic. We got limnic over here.
We got a limnic one.
See? We got limnic over here. See? Nobody cares.
Yeah.
I'm going to do Jurassic Park references all night.
I hope so. Well, let's go back to lava. Because lava is one of the coolest things on the planet that I don't know that like people really understand. Like it's just
why? Because it's liquid
rock that is so hot that you just can't do anything to it. Like that movie Volcano redirected it like in a tube, but the lava tubes kind of like close off and form. Yeah, and like if your house is in the way of that, it's just a slow, unending pile of rock coming towards you, and the after effects are interesting too. It's like in portions of Hawaii, the Big Island, they have this Volcanoes National Park. Not only does it like mess with your stereo, your radio, because it's like constantly exploding and I guess some sort of like weird statics happen, But also, like, you go through these, like, winding roads, and it'll be, like, jungle. Like, you're in, like, a tropical jungle. And then it'll be, like, lava, like, came through.
That's
and just, like,
nuts, and just
black
destroys
nothingness.
it.
Yeah.
Right. That's kind of wild.
So nothing grows in those locations. It's
It's
bizarre.
also crazy that it's so hot. Do we have anything that withstands it? Like, do we have stuff that we can stick in there that kind of... And the reason I ask is that it's kind of it's made of the same material as the outer core, I want to say, because inner core is solid iron, I believe, right? Solid nickel and iron. So it's so hot and so ridiculous we can't even put like an instrument into it without it burning. And I'm guessing we have
1800 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm assuming they use some sort of ceramic, but I don't know who does make ceramic.
Don't you make a ceramic at that temperature? So wouldn't it just unmake it?
Oh, it's like sintering almost.
Oh,
that's the word I used earlier.
Sinter on over.
He's poking it with a stick. He's poking.
Awesome.
He's just using a stick and taking it, and scooping it in a bucket of water. He's hacking at it.
Look at it.
It's so cool though. Lava is awesome.
Lava's pretty cool. I like that it glows. It's so hot.
Yeah.
Well, I actually know what my favorite feature of lava is, and I didn't think of it until we've been talking about
that
it.
That it could kill your. No, I can't say.
No, that it doesn't. Your kid. That it could. That it
take out your whole family. No.
That it's so hot, but you can be kind of near it.
You can be safe because it's so slow usually.
Yeah. Well, not just that. Like if something is, well, okay, maybe this is weird. 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit. I feel like I wouldn't be able to be in the room with it, but lava, I don't know. No.
I don't know. That's a misconception on your part. Not an uncommon misconception that just you thought of right now.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So I couldn't be within like 10 feet of lava or it would burn me? Is that a thing? I have no idea.
I don't know how close you can actually get to it. I feel like
right, because at that temperature, that's weird. Like a giant... It has to radiate the heat outwards.
So they did have a crater with lava in it that you had to stand probably... I'm going to say like a football field away.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's... The heat. Yeah, but that's a crater is like a huge drop.
It's also,
you could still see
it
and feel it. Yeah.
Immense amount, right.
Okay. Lava. The key element of Minecraft.
Oh, God. Ah, is that where you were going?
Yeah.
Is that the whole reason?
Yeah. So everyone falls in lava. They go, oh, crap, I shouldn't have dug straight down. Like, you idiot. But the more interesting part of Minecraft is actually the creepers, which is essentially TNT, right? Sneaky bomb.
That is mine. TNT. It literally is TNT.
Yeah. And the hiss, the little like fuse.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So fuses are one of the coolest things in the world, I think. I mean, it's...
I've only ever seen fuses on Looney Tunes.
Really? And fireworks?
Yeah, I guess you're right. What else are they on?
Cartoonish bombs. That'd be great.
Well, that's why I said Looney Tunes.
Yeah. But it's one of those things that's recognizable, I think. It's like everyone should know what I guess it's a
bomb is. It might be a chronology thing, dude, because I don't know that my kid would. Yeah, he probably does. He probably already knows what a bomb looks like. Like a cartoon bomb, the black one with the little nip and then the fuse. So, does that have a name? That little nippy part?
The nippy part of the fuse?
No, just where the fuse goes into the bomb. It's like that raised part. If I were to draw it, it would be a perfect circle, except right there, like the raised part. I'm just curious. Someone who's like a bomb expert watching, who works for SWAT, is screaming at home, slamming their table and yelling,
"It's the starter or something." No, I don't know.
Yeah, it's the ripple effect. It's called the Boseheimer bump or something. And they're banging their table and just saying it, and we're like, oh.
It's a surprise. TNT. Yeah, TNT. So, like, I guess before anyone ever knew that we could have explosions that large, I remember stories of the person trying to,
my God.
They're trying to mix chemicals together and they had an explosion, and it's like, well, you made something that made it explode, and that's the first time like anyone realized that you could do that. It's a bunch of European scientists that made TNT and dynamite, like which are not the same thing.
Like 1900s. TNT's trinitrotoluene. I think it's like C6H2 in parentheses NO2 to the third CH3. I'm getting that tattooed on my other arm.
You are? Some
Yeah, why
dynamite.
not? Because this shit's coming for you.
I'm TNT. I'm dynamite.
No, I'm dynamite. You gotta say it like kind of like a woman, a little bit, like a lunch lady. Oh my god, I'm itchy everywhere. It's almost like I have poison ivy on my whole body. Holy shit.
Okay. Invented by a Swedish chemist, Alfred Nobel. I don't know that guy.
No,
not familiar.
Isn't.
No, it is.
Really?
Swedish chemist Alfred Nobel in the 1860s.
My man. Yo, shout out. We appreciate all your work.
Manageable explosive stronger than black powder. So it leads into that black powder was China in the 9th century. Yeah.
Yeah, gunpowder. Yeah. Gunpowder was a big deal. Not just for shooting purposes, but for like mining and stuff like that. And affecting mountains and stone and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I guess that's mining, sort of, again, but still.
Yeah, you can... Was Silk Road made with gunpowder explosives?
Probably, I would imagine. Back then they dug a lot. They had more free time, no internet. People are always asking, like, what did they do before they had internet?
Slavery.
They built a lot of crazy stuff with slavery. We all know that, folks. This fly is about to get it. I will kill a fly live on podcast. I will do it. If he lands...
You better snip it out of the air. What direction you want to go?
No, you were doing pretty good. I like the
field.
TNT versus dynamite versus...
So the TNT had a feeling to it. The feeling I felt when I read this article. It was about TNT. Sorry. It actually evoked something that was like, oh, that's awesome. No, it's like hollow point bullets or something. Like the TNT was stable. So if you were to like carry it around, it wasn't as big a deal.
Hold on a second. Don't move.
I'm sure. Did you get it?
Got it. Look at this. Live on the podcast. So I always brag that I have a knack for killing flies. And no one believes me because that sounds real weird. But I just literally killed a fly live on TV. 1 for 1. 1 shot. 1 kill. Weird. Anyway, I'm really sorry. Good. Yo, what the... Oh, God.
Did it live?
No, there's sand in my sandal. And every time I move it, I'm feeling these weird things in my hair. So I'm like, is there a million tiny flies coming to life and attacking me?
Huh.
But no, he's still way dead. I'm just dropping sand on my legs. Very minute particles.
Yeah, people confuse TNT and dynamite.
Sorry.
TNT is actually less volatile, less explosive, less
wait,
reactive.
Which ones are the red sticks?
I don't know that it... I think dynamite is the red stick.
Yeah, I think it is.
The TNT, they actually had a story about how they...
TNT is a yellow powder, right? Yeah, because I did a research on this.
You did?
I think when you blow it up, it does 2.72 times 10 to the 6 joules per kilogram.
Okay.
Of power.
I will.
The reason I say that is because TNT became a universal like placeholder for power, explosive power.
Yeah.
So that something is 100,000 megatons.
Kilotons.
Yeah, exactly.
Megatons.
Yes, kilotons. You're right. I apologize. Did you break that down further?
Yeah. Well, just TNT. They actually used it inside of shells. Like they had an example of firing a shell that had TNT in it. The TNT wouldn't explode until it went through the ship. So they actually compared it to like the British versus the Nazis. Like the Nazis had that technology in shells, but the British didn't. So their shells exploded on the outside of the ship, whereas the Nazis had shells that exploded in the inside of the ship. Made their navy that much more dangerous.
Potent.
Yeah. Potent. I think it was pyrite was what the British were using.
Pyrite explodes and then gets really bright. Isn't that pyrite?
Is it?
What's the one that gets real bright? It's an explosive reaction. You can do it real safe. It's safe, though.
Magnesium?
Magnesium. My bad. It was magnesium with, what, just lit on fire or something? There's got to be something more to it.
Oh, shit. I forget what this is because it's really simple.
Yeah, it is. And you can do it. It's like safe, but it's bright as hell. It was one of the coolest things I remember from chemistry. I was like, whoa, that's bright as hell. Is it?
With... I don't know.
Okay. Well, we'll figure it out. But magnesium somehow chemically reacts and it turns bright as hell.
Instantly converted to hydrogen and oxygen when water's added.
Interesting.
Water's added. The gases.
So if you get some pure magnesium, folks, just throw it in some water. Do this at home. You don't have to have any parents around if you're 8 or 9 or whatever watching this. Go ahead, get some. You can find it on the market. Not do that. Oh, how about the other one? Pure sodium?
Pure sodium? Salt?
Oh, yeah. Like the pure sodium.
I don't know what you're talking about.
On water, type it in. I think it's pure sodium in water. It's explosive as hell. I'm almost 100% sure that's what it is. Have you seen a bunch of results, or am I crazy?
I'm watching a beaker. It's moving around quite a bit. Oh, it's on fire. It turned on fire.
Oh, dude, it's wild. So that's the other thing. Like, all
explosions
these
are so cool.
Granted,
yeah,
dude, explosions are cool. No. So there's a video. I don't know if you'll find it, but my favorite video when I was younger. This is a YouTube video. Some guy had a block, and I thought it was sodium. He might have.
He threw it in a lake.
Yes.
Yes.
And it explodes. I'm like, holy shit.
No, I just found it.
Anyway, did you? Oh yeah, that's the one. Anyway,
I remember this from like 10 years ago.
Sapolo. Anyway, he showed me that.
You know, toss it into the water.
Yeah,
I love the anticipation of something. Oh, you're just like it's like a fuse to the smoke.
Anticipation. That's what it's saying.
It definitely exploded.
Did it go? I'm
That's
watching
cool.
your face. I want to see you
cool.
react. Did it go?
Yeah, it did.
Look, you already had this come down.
Yeah.
Chilling now.
Oh boy. I can't wait. I can't wait for this.
So, what we're really getting at is explosions are pretty awesome. We've been talking about the scientific
childlike
version,
too.
This version.
Boom.
Yeah. Boom.
The surprise, the anticipation, the excitement. There's so much there.
This is so weird. I can't remember if I've heard an explosion. I've been in an earthquake.
You fired a gun?
I fired multiple guns. I fired
mini explosions?
Shotgun. No, not a mini explosion though.
But that counts as a mini explosion.
Does it? Shotgun?
Yeah. I mean, you're firing.
Yeah, I guess it does.
You know,
it shoots it out at how many meters per second? You're absolutely correct.
What was the?
So I fired handguns, long guns,
I
shotgun, and one other kind of gun. I forget. I fired a AK-74, which is a legal version of the AK-47.
The fuck was it? What's the
cool.
starter? I don't know where I put that.
I don't know where you put it.
No.
I did have an explosion.
What the goddamn name is. A lot of cursing tonight. Very pent up.
We haven't had an episode together in a long time. People don't know this because we just released them week by week.
4th of July coming up too.
Oh, geez, that's what's going on. No, you better not say it. Actually, might come out on the 4th of July.
Yeah, it might.
2020.
You're away. It's gonna piss me off. Hold on a second, because it's in the.
Please do. I don't know what you're
cordite. Cordite was the word.
What's cordite?
Cordite is like a gunpowder or gunpowder alternative. It's actually like strings. It's very odd that you can make like a filament of cordite and replace it for what's inside of a bullet. It's like with the like the grain of a bullet, explosive powder, or power. That could be gunpowder or cordite.
How do they measure gun bullet strength? I think it's FHS, HSB.
Don't know what that means.
FBS. Anyway, it's one of those acronyms I just did. It's like the amount of gunpowder that's in the actual bullet.
They do it by weight, right? Grams, and then they call it grain.
Correct. Yes, correct. And it's by like the bullet type. So like you could have 9mm, but there's like 40 different.
Oh, because you do the weight of the bullet, the actual.
Correct.
I just had that
the
open.
Powder in there. You probably did.
What's the the projectile?
Like I know we shot 9mm and 115 grain. There was 125 grain. Stuff like that. But anyway, it's kind of cool. So that's how much powder is in there, I guess. It's
a film. Cool. Gaps of silence. You're making explosive noises.
Well, have you ever heard a real explosion? The other thing is, I just watched World War Z.
Fireworks. Fireworks are real explosions. That
counts.
Yeah,
they're really far away usually. But do you know the big yellow boomers?
Sure.
Boom, 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 boom. Mm-hmm. They're the ones that they remind me of if you beat a Mario level and they go off, and they're just kind of like circles with like dots around them, but they're real loud.
That's nice.
They're the ones where if you go. So okay, growing up, the Philadelphia Phillies, the baseball team,
they'd have
used to
fireworks.
they would.
4th of July.
Now, I think most teams would, but the Phillies, for whatever reason, had one of the best fireworks shows.
We'd park on the side of the highway.
Did you?
Yeah.
I used to go with my buddy Jake every year. Okay, his grandpa would get tickets, and we would go and sit in the game. And I don't remember the games at all, not even a little bit, but I remember those fireworks because they would sometimes go with the music, which I think is nice. Badass. That's a lot of work. And you would always know the finale because they would send up like one single, and then they'd do the boomers. They'd shoot off these ones. I'm calling them boomers. Everyone in the fireworks industry probably has a name for them. They're real heavy concussive blasts. You can feel them in your chest.
It's right. They're like condensed too. They're really
small. Oh
concise,
they're real small. They're they're like gunshots. Anyway, they would shoot off like 50 of them at once, and you could feel it in your chest, like
yeah.
You'd be looking up, being like, "Holy shit!"
It gets everyone.
Anyway, it'll knock you on your ass, bear. Almost.
So I got the same feeling for like lightning and thunder. When thunder hits you, like sometimes when it's really close, it's explosive. Has that same feeling?
Not last night. 2 nights ago, we had lightning strike somewhere really near the house because it was like a strike, instant thunder, and it shook the house. I was like, that had to be like right by our house. You know, maybe a block away or half a block. I have no idea. Or 10 blocks. I have no clue how that works. Do you?
So that's mysterious as well. I guess that most explosions are kind of mysterious. Is that you like?
Well, if you see an explosion, sometimes there's like a trail of smoke. You know exactly where it was.
Yeah.
But lightning.
But it's like I guess all explosions are 3-dimensional, right? There aren't many.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
in fact they have to. Their detonation is technically 3-dimensional.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now if they're against a wall here, it's going to change the pattern, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah,
but they're still pushing out 3 dimensions equally.
But there's like a cubic response to it. So like people don't understand how dangerous explosions are. Like moving half the distance to it makes it like, I'm going to throw out a bullshit number, like 10 times stronger.
2.5 times? Oh, I was going with 2.5 to 3 times.
No.
Really?
It's like, yeah. It's because you're not doubling it. You're doubling it
right.
to the power of 3. So it's like 8 times.
Why 3? It's not just 3 axes, is it? Is that what you multiply by?
It's the
X, Y,
it's a volumetric deal.
Would you be?
I'm gonna say
right.
It's
I agree with that.
true.
So it's cubed.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so because it's cubed, we'll say that.
So like half the distance means it's 8 times as powerful.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Cubed to the second. Okay.
Yeah.
2.
We did math. Woo. Also,
someone's gonna be like, "You were incorrect."
Yeah. But also, there's like Philadelphia had that oil refinery explosion. Not explosion, but they let that off.
Yes, they did.
Did it explode? It exploded. They let it burn.
It was an explosion. They let it burn.
Same thing. Houston had one. They had multiple tanks catch on fire, and there was a stream of smoke that crossed the entire city. It was insane, and it burned for days.
When was this?
This was like maybe a few months back.
Oh, okay. So I'm thinking this week. That's why I was like, I didn't see it.
Yeah, well, people don't talk about that because it's contained. But the one in China, have you seen the one in China?
No. Is that new?
That's probably 6 or 7 years old, where they had chemicals at a port explode, and it knocked out windows that were like a mile away on the skyscrapers. People died from the concussive force of the windows getting blown out and then landing on them.
The loudest sound on Earth. Do you know what it was? I still know. Unless it's been changed in the past 10 years. It's
you whining.
Krakatoa, bitch.
Really? Krakatoa?
Yeah. So someone claimed there's multiple reports. It was claimed people could hear it over 3,000 miles away.
That's awesome. That's just awesome.
Ridiculous. Dude, that's power. 3,000 miles through air. Do you know how hard it is to get someone to hear me like 20 yards away in air? Like when I'm tired, I'm like
1,500 miles away. It's almost impossible to listen to.
Yeah. Yeah, Krakatoa, which is my favorite explosion.
Not the Toba eruption?
Tambora?
I thought it was Toba.
It could be. They're all.
That was one of the major explosions or eruptions.
Yeah, I thought it was Tambora.
No, I think you're wrong.
I'm going by when I was a kid. I haven't looked this up in 15 years. Just type in Tambora, see if that's a thing.
Because you're wrong.
Well, type in Tambora and see if that's a. Because it could just be a different eruption. You're not.
Toba super eruption. Super erection.
You get it, super erection.
Oh, let's take a look here. Tambora was an explosion too. I will give you that.
Ah, thank you. It was like 15 years ago. I didn't look this up. I'm going by something. How big was that? A small one, or is it like a real one?
So we need to talk about the scale of explosions, right? We talked about TNT, and then we talked about kilotons and megatons.
We did.
I don't know how to tie that into how people, because even like a stick of TNT or dynamite, who knows how? Like no one's ever really seen it, felt it. Containing the power within it is impossible. Like what is like a handheld explosion? I wonder what like the closest thing that's common that people would realize is like a feeling of an explosion.
The smallest explosion is.
Smallest handheld explosion.
Look.
That's the cheesiest thing I've seen in a long time.
Now, have you ever held a lighter upside down in your hand for like 10 seconds with it held, and then you light it, it ignites it. That's technically an explosion, isn't it?
I'm trying to see like firing a bullet, like how much power is in a bullet.
I did read this actually.
You did? Do you have that?
Yeah. No, I didn't write it down.
Was it fractional? Like, do you know? I mean, of course, it was fractional to TNT. Like, how much?
Yeah, but I don't remember how much compared to TNT. I can't say it's like 1/1,000,000th or like 1/10th. Do firing bullet joules. Like, look for joules, because when you look for joules, it knows you're looking for the energy.
Muzzle energy.
The power. Oh, is that what it is? I guess because that's in the kick. That's probably the kick.
I'm trying to see.
Pepper kicks.
It's 800 joules ish. Magnum. It's talking about a magnum. A 180 grain, 12 gram bullet. The magnum.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. It could be.
Yeah. Magnum, cheap muzzle energy. Blah, 180 blah, blah, blah. So like Colt 45 is like Colt 45. Yeah.
How much?
From here to Hong Kong, 1,600 joules. So like around 1,000 joules.
Okay. Did you see what TNT is?
I thought it was like 7,000 or something. Maybe not. TNT equivalent.
I got 2.72 times 10 to the 6th.
Oh, so that's 2. Okay, that's a lot more.
Is that 20,000?
No, wait a second here.
200,000?
The approximate energy released in detonation of metric. No. For each gram of TNT.
How much, thank you. A gram. It depends on how much TNT you're detonating.
So it's like 4,000 joules for a gram of TNT.
Okay, mine might not have been a gram. Mine was per kilogram. My bad.
Yeah, per kilogram.
So you did by gram. Oh, so what is it per gram? That's interesting because
4,000 joules. I think a gram. You think a gram goes into a bullet? How much?
Well, we just said how many grams that bullet was. 150 or something.
12.
So it's actually closer.
It's probably. So I'm just gonna ballpark it and say TNT is 4 times as explosive as a bullet.
Take it, boom, and a bullet's crazy. So
that's
4 times, and that's by weight. So if you have 4 times as much, it's going to be 4 times as much as 4 times as much.
Yeah, and I don't think you're holding on to the gun if it's 4 times as powerful. I think the gun is launching out of your hands and smacking you in the face. Bigger.
So what's like the next level up? We make. I mean, there are other explosives, correct?
Like M80s and little firecrackers, little poppers. Don't put those in your toilet. Water does not compress. Cherry bombs, little smoke bombs.
Those are still cute, but like interesting. You know, they have some pop to them.
You ever see what the hell is it called? What? That explosive. I think it's called like thalmite or something.
Curses from you today.
Cursing
like a sailor.
I forget what the hell it's called.
Well, I don't know.
It's gonna piss me off. No, there's this. It's supposedly for destroying tree trunks. It's like cordite. but you can stick it in a tree trunk and it's
in the middle of the
explosive
tree
by a
trunk,
bullet.
and it
Yeah.
blows it the hell off.
You can shoot it with a bullet and the force of the bullet will make it explode.
Hold on.
It looks amazing. It's like thermite or something.
You have to be able to hit the item in question?
Yeah.
So if you were drunk or a terrible aim, you'd just be shooting at your tree stump all day?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow, that's wild. Huh.
I wonder if explode tree stumps will do it.
It might. Although you're going to get some lightning results, I bet. That would be kind of cool. I do love when a lightning bolt hits a tree and you see that shit just shear in half. It's like... And you're like, oh my god. I'm getting into this. So what's like the next level of magnitude? Are we talking like when I typed in notable explosions into Wikipedia? I had a whole list.
Yeah.
I still have a list. Oh, yeah, I do. Well, it's too long to go through half of them or whatever. But
just skip to the ones that we care about, Nick. We, as the entire audience of the world.
The entire audience. Oh my god, where did it go? I'll just type in notable explosions Wikipedia, but it should still be here.
Interesting. I can't find that name. It was invented by somebody, and they used their name as it.
As the explosive.
As the product. So I can't find it because it's.
Oh, here it is. Tell me if you've heard of any of these. Nanami Mine Explosion. No. Halifax Explosion. Battle of Messines.
No.
Opal.
Tannerite.
1944.
Tannerite is it?
Where'd you go?
Tannerite is the explosion that.
Oh, okay.
For the tree stumps.
Yo, Soviet N-1 rocket explosion?
Yep.
That sounds terrible. Pepcon disaster? Have you ever heard of Chernobyl? We didn't get into any radiation.
Yeah, we haven't touched that.
Is radiation technically exploding? On an atomic level, in a weird way?
Yeah, I guess in a weird way.
Exploding.
We'll get to nukes. We need to get to that's that's the top of the scale.
Nuclear explosions. Trinity test at Castle Bravo. SAR bomb. I know you want to talk about that.
SAR bomba.
Atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
So let's go to like mother of all bombs.
Okay. You want to skip right over hand grenade?
Oh, hand grenade. I'll take that. Why did you not bring that up earlier?
Well, because you hold down the right trigger button and you hold it for 3.78888 seconds and you let it go and it's going to explode wherever the hell you want. Okay, folks?
I was typing in Moab and I mistyped it and I typed moan equals BS. Oh, mother of all bombs. I'm just trying to get the joules, just to get on a scale.
Okay.
Because it's the largest bomb known to man. It's 11 tons of TNT, or 46 gigatons. Or, oh, sorry, I said that wrong. Gigajoules. 1.21 gigawatts. Sorry.
It's fine.
So those things.
Rocket.
Last time we dropped one was in like Afghanistan. I guess there are people like hiding out in a mountainous bunker area, like in caves, and they just like let that Moab like blow up right on top of it. Apparently, it like destroys the mountain.
The whole mountain.
Yeah,
the whole mountain, I think.
like, destroys the caves and stuff. It's crazy.
I'm trying to give us the
nuke.
No. It went right before nuke. So like a V2 rocket is like it's a guided ballistic missile used in like the 50s, 40s. But it was like the first man-made object to, we could man it. It was a super powerful weapon. It was a missile back in the day. It was here we go. No, it was detonation mechanism, speed. Where the hell is power? Warhead. 1,000 kilograms. Explosive weight 910. Detonation. God damn it.
1,000 kilograms. Who measures in grams once you're in kilos? Is that less than a ton? It must be
Scientists.
less
than a ton. I literally just saw it in this little. There's no more room. Speed, guidance system, flight, optional range.
You're boring people now. Just make up a number and say I don't know.
A bajillion things.
Wow, that's a lot, Nick.
Literally.
What can you do with those bajillion things?
I can shove them all up my butthole.
along with that cucumber.
So mad. No, I'm gonna eat the bomb. Shove the cucumber up somewhere.
So there's a fear in explosions that I think is inherent in all of the things that we're talking about. There's a fear. It's like those things can kill you. Me? Yeah. No matter. Absolutely. Like, I guess the circumstance might seem ridiculous, but it's possible that you get hit by lightning, that you fall into lava, that a bomb explodes in your hand, or you get shot, or that's more realistic. Yeah, like all these things can happen, and they're all caused by like explosions of some sort of energy that's stored up and releases. So we're kind of talking about like distilling energy and using it later.
Potential kinetic energy.
Yeah.
So something has potential energy. So ironically, the SAR bomb. Did we talk about that at all?
We did a little bit. You mentioned it.
Okay, I mentioned it.
It's the biggest nuclear explosion of all time.
Correct.
Yeah. What was it?
Now,
megatons?
It's just so funny. I didn't realize this. So I watched Chernobyl. I was big into science. I like bombs. I like this kind of stuff.
What didn't you know?
I never realized that when they measure these things and you read the stat,
there's no way to
just say it's. You have to read 5 stats to even know what the hell's going on, because they're giving you the explosive power. So the SAR bomb is 3,300 times more powerful than the Hiroshima bomb. And I was like, oh my God.
How many times?
3,300 times.
So that's a ridiculous amount.
It is, but is it more radioactive?
Is it more?
Probably not.
They said like where dangerous? You explode it to is like if you explode it on the ground versus like in the air. Like in the air, it's more damaging.
Correct. I read a whole thing on the Chernobyl versus Nagasaki versus Hiroshima.
Yeah.
And the reason Chernobyl is such a great story is because that nuclear waste melted and it kind of went into the earth, and it became a thing. When they detonate the bombs at Hiroshima and Nagasaki, they detonated. They were done.
Above.
There's no more really, like there still is remnants and in the air, nothing's safe over there.
Nuclear
but it's not
waste.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
The radiation being radiated off of the leftovers is so much smaller because it's spaced out.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was in smaller pieces over a wider span.
Mm-hmm.
It's also crazy how they measured it. Do you know that when they dropped these bombs in we dropped these bombs in Nagasaki and Hiroshima?
Yeah.
That they like measured the cubic force and how many people died via fire,
concussive,
incendiary, concussive, radiation. No one had a chance to die of radiation right away because they were
most of the deaths were radioactive.
Yeah, radiative. And then the fires they created.
Yeah.
Like the people that actually just died in fires.
Level entire city.
Yeah, it was like, what?
Have you ever looked at like what bombs could do to your city? Like Houston would be like almost completely destroyed. And then
why? Because if you drop it in the center, it just blows through the buildings.
Yeah, it's gonna hit like the first loop, which is pretty massive. And it will like
it's wild.
Once that happens, you can't even live in the city anymore because of all the nuclear waste. It's constantly destroying things. That's also like the people that survive but then get poisoned by the radiation. It's like alpha particles can hit your skin and you're fine, but if you inhale them, like there's a possibility that you could absorb the radiation yourself, like internally, after you've like eaten something that's radioactive or breathed it in,
right?
And that could destroy you too. We didn't even talk about.
Did you see Chernobyl, by the way?
I did not. I want to. I will.
Oh, dude. There's literally a whole episode.
Or HBO.
Yeah, HBO. There's literally a whole episode. I'm not going to ruin it for everybody because who cares? Where they have to. Chernobyl's already happened. They're just trying to deal with everything at this point. There's an episode where they send ex-soldiers or people who weren't good enough to be soldiers but will volunteer to help to shoot animals in the area because every animal that's in the area has probably been radiated enough where
its meat
is dangerous. Yeah. Its meat is radiated. It's like nothing is good. So they have to shoot deer, dogs, people's pets that were left behind.
Crazy.
Cats and crap. Dude, it's wild. They have to go in there and just shoot these people's pets that are left over in homes. The pets are like, and they're like, and then when they're done with it, you can't just leave that body there because you don't know how radioactive it is or isn't. It might not be, but it might be. Bury it in concrete.
Mass.
So there's a
more mass absorbs it.
Holy crap! Is that what the rule is? It's more mass.
Yeah. It's like water is good because
Wild.
it's really massive. Concrete.
Yeah, it's hard for molecules to move through water.
So we didn't talk about like what causes a nuclear explosion. Like nuclear reactors, which provide power. It's like a slow chain reaction, so they can control the separation of nuclei. I think it's like you get
Isn't it the fission?
yeah you get like
Forcing them together,
and a
they
piece
don't
of
want
the
to be together,
nucleus.
so
Yeah,
they break
you
apart.
split, and then it hits another element, and then it causes the
It
same
hits
reaction.
another element, and then they all start splitting.
Yeah,
And you have so many things splitting that once something changes energy levels, it has to give off its energy.
Yeah.
A very powerful energy.
and the shape matters. So they have like nuclear rods, which are linear, which is why they're rod shaped. It's the way they can control it and kind of cool it off. But a nuclear bomb is like spherical.
So it explodes.
Yeah.
spherically.
Yes.
Well, that was why it was important whether they detonated it in the air above a town or on the ground. Because on the ground, they cause more of that concussive fire, etc. If you did it further in the air, you do more radioactive damage.
Yeah, like a dirty bomb.
Yeah, a dirty bomb, correct. So the Moab, the SAR, we were talking about that before we got into the nukes in general, but what's the biggest nuke? Is it just size-wise the biggest?
I guess size. Like how else? What do you?
Physical? I have no idea if there's a different way. Because did you know that the bomb dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki? It's so hard because I have to keep saying them. Were actually made of different nuclear elements. One was plutonium, like 251. I'm making up the friggin' number.
Enriched.
And one was
nuclear material.
Thank you. I can't remember.
Uranium.
What the other one was. Yeah, the other one was uranium. Yeah, I don't remember which was which.
I don't know that I.
The Enola Gay dropped Little Boy and Fat Boy, right?
Fat
Little
Man.
Bomb
I thought it was Fat Man.
Fat Man.
Fat Man.
I don't friggin' know. Dude.
Wow, we did some research on this one.
Well, we go off on tangents, so I'm talking about things I didn't think I was going to talk about tonight.
Yeah, I understand. Fat Man. It was Fat Man. Little Boy.
And Little Boy. Okay.
Yeah, plutonium,
Give me
and
some
uranium.
It's not just plutonium. You gotta give me an actual radioactive number.
It's crazy how much these killed. Like hundreds of thousands of people. So Nagasaki was smaller by death count. Radiation sickness. It like melts your body. Like people like parts of their body just like melt off over time because of the heat generated by the particles.
The way Chernobyl even puts it is a really good way. It shoots invisible bullets into your body, inside you, and you're fine for right now, but in 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 days,
just all these holes appear.
There are holes in your liver. There's some in your lung. There's some in your blood cells here. There's some in your spleen, and you're like, oh, you're dying. Like, it's wild.
Crazy.
So, do you know how I wanted to? Did you want to bring anything up before I end the episode? I always end it on a philosophical note.
No, I wanted to bring up something. So, the control of this stuff is like nuclear power could solve a lot of issues, but places like Chernobyl or Fukushima, I mean, they cause such devastation that's uncontrollable that it makes us fear what is probably actually better for our planet. I'm a proponent for nuclear power because a lot of the coal-driven versions, everything we do to generate power is like usually it's either using harnessing nature or it's heating something up and spinning something like a turbine, and then spewing all the garbage into the air.
Power, right?
Yeah, so like the garbage that's spewed into the air, all the carbon dioxide and emissions, that stuff is not very measurable.
Are you saying nuclear power is cleaner power, sort of?
Yes.
Cleaner. Right.
Cleaner.
I don't disagree.
And it also leads us into like, I'll say like gasoline, combustion, all of the stuff that we use on a daily basis is miniature explosions. They're just controlled. Yeah. An engine is fueled. And give me fire. Give me that which I desire.
That which I desire, baby. If we were to say something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So there's an element to this that's like, are you excited? Like people are excited by the rumble of an engine, but other people are just, it's commonplace. It's just like, oh, my car didn't start today. Like,
Right,
oh,
you're
damn
thinking
it.
of your car as a starting or
Yeah,
not
there's a
starting,
thing that
getting,
does
working, not working, but really a car is an exploding,
mini
fire
explosions thousands of
controlling,
times a second. It's like,
metal 2,000-pound workhorse that just friggin' flies around exploding on
maybe not 1,000
dinosaur.
times a second, but you know,
Oh,
RPMs for 2,000, 1,000 rotations per minute. Maybe it is thousands of
that's
times a second.
rotations. I don't know. I have no idea.
Maybe it is.
Anyway, it's then it's dinosaur like bones and like.
So crazy man-made
Cool.
explosive stuff.
Go ahead.
Napalm and like thermite.
They say you can make it with like styrofoam.
Simple ingredients. You like somehow melt it down and then mix it with gasoline. Don't give the.
I'm not giving. If it's only 2 ingredients, I mean, really, if
There's
8,
probably
they gotta
something
do
more
their
to
own.
it. Hopefully that's not all it takes, because that would be insane.
If it is, then they can't sue me either because that's ridiculously stupid.
Like
be able to
things
make
that
it.
just keep burning, like it
Burning?
melts through
Yeah.
things. That's kind of an insane thing. If you
That's what
drop
we were
like
talking about. Chemical reactions, though. Like, we use certain chemicals every day and don't realize they're a reaction to another chemical they're never in contact with. If people find 2 things that bind or work or explode, that's how many people make homemade bombs and shit.
Yeah, it's like the alien's
It's just
acid in the movie. It just burns through everything.
No, it's not like that.
It's exactly like that. What are you talking about?
No, it's like a child who could figure out a way to make an explosive, and I'm like, that should be impossible.
Yeah.
But there are so many chemicals and so many interactions.
So I got one cool one.
Good. What's
one
cool
more cool one? Oxygen
peroxide?
candles. Yeah.
You're gonna go with hydrogen peroxide, or what is it? What's the volcano made of? Baking soda.
Baking soda
That's
and
what it is.
hydrogen peroxide.
Thank you.
Oh, we should have started with that one. Oh boy, that would
We
have
should've.
really shaken some heads, waking them up, make them woke. Oxygen
this?
candles, though. So oxygen candles, it's a reaction between. Fuck, I forgot the reaction was. Shit, it's the finger guns distracted me.
You can't blame others.
So oxygen candles, they use them in space in order to generate oxygen. Like they don't use oxygen, they actually generate oxygen. So on the Mir, they had an oxygen candle which somehow became compromised and it didn't explode. They said it was like a torch. So there's oxygen candles in 0G floating around and it's spewing fire and smoke everywhere. And one of the astronauts said it was one of the most fearful things he's ever experienced because there's nothing you can do to get away from it. And once it spews smoke everywhere, you can't put the smoke elsewhere. Like you can't just pump that out. You can't open up a window.
Because it's 0G. Interesting.
Yeah. It's it has a chemical thing that I want to say. It doesn't matter. But yeah, they would normally use like burn this candle in order to get oxygen for one person per day. So it's a weird thing that you would think that there are chemicals that exist that generate oxygen for people when the reverse is possible, or reverse is commonplace rather.
Yeah, that is interesting because usually candle burns through oxygen. That's weird.
It's NaCl3.
I thought so.
Yeah.
So what does it leave? O2?
Yeah, 3 O2s and NaCl. Some form of salt.
And some heat energy.
I think the only way to put it out is through carbon dioxide and
physical
water.
You couldn't physically just like smother it?
Just smother it with your body? I mean, I guess you could
sacrifice
not
yourself. Your body. I was thinking, I was thinking like a bell cover. Like
I thought it was a cucumber. Oh boy.
It sat on it. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
It lit the way up the path of darkness.
I am now complete with my stories. I think I touched on where I was going.
How I wanted to end it was just
alcohol. We didn't talk about burning of alcohol.
Oh, alcohol burns very well.
It does. Okay, continue, Nick.
Just what I wanted to end on is that explosion is
fire, heat, light, danger, fragility, war, it's life and nature.
It's literally life.
Yeah, destruction equals creation.
Well, think of this. What's the alternative? It's the dead, black quiet of space versus the white, hot explosion of life in a way. Do you know what our universe is based on? Antimatter versus matter particles. They bang together so hard they actually eliminate one another, correct? Is this the kind of current thinking right now? Something or some force or some reason we have more matter particles than antimatter particles. What's crazy is that these particles are just banging into each other hard. They're banging like 16-year-old spicy nuggets.
Meatballs. A couple of spicy meatballs.
But think about
Bacon
this,
sauce in the middle of the night.
Everything should be equal. Like explosion, quiet. Explosion, quiet.
Yeah.
For some reason, we have more explosion, and that's life. So explosion's kind of life. And eventually, do you ever read about the far distant future and all that crap?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all the time.
So
every day.
So what's going to happen is you're going to be one of two things. You're either going to be one of the last big supergiant explosions or white dwarfs bursting into flames or going supernova, or you're going to be black, quiet.
Give me the giant explosive thing, because it's interesting and quick. I don't want to die in a cold. That's one thing we didn't talk about. Fire.
We didn't. So I know we'll skip that for right now. Fire's a whole episode, I think.
I think we can cover that. Yeah. Yeah, I think we can. Next one.
Cut. We're not going to, folks. That's the joke. That's the joke, folks. So like when we see these suns, that's like explosions in space that are keeping us alive. Like it's like fusion, fission, boom, everything's exploding. You're either exploding outward, heat, life, generating energy, generating creative stuff, white light, just boom, pow, or you're quietly fading, getting darker, quieter, zero gravity, zero movement, zero energy. And so I think explosions are kind of like us. We love life. We love the juice, man. We love our lives. Aren't they explosions?
So I think
we're around for 80 years. What are you trying to get at? Good. What am I trying to get at?
Our bodies are a battery. We're constantly producing heat. The reactions in our body are little tiny explosions that are controlled, little tiny electrical signals which are controlling us. We're thinking, we're breathing explosions. And when we feel each other, those are electrical signals and explosions and emotions and power. So it's like the warmth of the human body is the same as gasoline in your engine or a firework going off or the sun exploding 1,000 times.
We send off light energy. Anytime energy. Is energy an explosion?
I think so.
That's wild. So wait, is thinking an explosion? Creativity?
Little tiny explosions in your brain.
Yeah, maybe. That's friggin' wild.
Depends what it is trying to handle the explosion. Could be an explosion of very small organisms.
Anything new or anything weird is the explosion. We covered a lot tonight.
Yep, I'm covered in it.
You're gonna be covered in it.
Yeah. Basking in that light generating thing.
We talked about trinitrotoluene.
TNT, baby. Dynamite.
TNT.
Not the same thing. We talked about how we love destruction too as kids. Building up things and destroying them.
Breaking them.
Dominoes. Jenga.
You just want to build up something and then break it.
We love when that creeper explodes because it gives us a chance to really have perspective on surviving and living and creating and keeping it going.
Absolutely. Love going to the dentist because sometimes the dentist is an explosion of energy and
drilling deep within our minds and souls the pain of our nerves.
I gotta go to the dentist next week.
So I hope you have insurance because that's going to explode in your pocketbook.
We love the explosion of poison sumac on your testicles. Just ripping its way through your body.
True story.
True story. story. True story.
Would you like
And
to
we love
share?
And we love. No, I would not. And we love the explosion of dog steroids that you take to counteract the poison sumac.
I don't know if that's illegal or not. You probably shouldn't say that.
I think you can take dog steroids, can't you? I mean, theoretically.
Theoretically,
I'm not saying
yeah.
I do. Theoretically.
Wow. Hope it's okay.
And aerosol, antihistamines all over your open wound balls. Just imagine.
Good finish. Wow.
Just exploding out of you. Listen, even pain is energy. Everything that's energy is an explosion. Everything that is death, quiet, peace, the end, entropy, that's the anti-explosion. I like to think we like explosions because that's life, folks.
I would like to think of it as like the absorption of energy. The waiting to explode is the anti-explosion. It's like that guy who's been working for like 30-something years. He's got nothing left. He's just waiting to explode. It's
Holy hell.
Good night.
Good day.
Yeah. Well,
folks, we like you.
We do.
Like you a friggin' lot.
Yeah, we do.
Thanks for tuning in.